As a quick introduction, I'm the founder of a company called Quarterlab. We specialize in video monetization and distribution for artists, both with standard video content and also with live streams. So we help artists like Run the Jewels, Joe Budden, Lil Wayne, The Roots, and many more reach more people and earn more money through their video content. And in the music space, we're probably a bit uniquely situated in that we've been working heavily in live streaming for about 6 years now. And that work runs the gamut from helping artists launch their own custom pay-per-view events, all the way to helping them bring their free-to-viewer live performances to multiple streaming platforms all at the same time while being monetized. So that's a brief background on me and what we do. While we're waiting on them, I'll give you a little brief story about something we've been working on extensively over the past couple of months. Questlove from The Roots not only is their drummer, but also is basically like a musicologist. This guy's knowledge in music across all genres is super extensive. So during lockdown, he had the idea to start doing a live stream DJ set on a nightly basis. I want to say we're on like night 44, 45 tonight. So we helped him on short notice start conducting these 4 to 6 hour live stream DJ sets. First from his apartment in New York, and now from like a private farm in upstate New York where he's quarantined with a few other friends. And we've been pushing that stream out to multiple platforms, both paid and unpaid. So we've been live streaming to Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook all at once. And it's been a really interesting experience to see where all of those platforms shine, to see which ones have specific drawbacks and which ways to leverage these various platforms. And Twitch has been one that we've been really interested in. Kind of had my finger on the pulse of Twitch for several years now, but it didn't seem to have a clear path for musicians that weren't just EDM DJs to really excel on the platform. And we've seen incredible results there over the past couple of months. We've generated over 5 million views, thousands of dollars, had up to 20,000 people tuning in all at once. So I think that's a platform that if you're not already watching, it's one to pay attention to. It's one that we're seeing a lot of success with and really provides many more opportunities to engage your fans on a deeper level than you can on other platforms. Facebook, on the other hand, conversely, is maybe not so good for the engagement, but the reach with Facebook is unparalleled. So something to keep in mind if you're an artist or someone who works with an artist thinking about the best way to leverage live streaming during this period is to think a little bit about whether your priority is reach and trying to expand your audience to as many people as possible, or whether you're more focused on monetizing your existing fan base. And I'd encourage you to experiment with these different platforms and find the proper combination, because some of them are great for earning money, but maybe not so great for reaching new viewers that you didn't personally drive to that platform. Whereas other ones are, literally impossible to monetize, but may be fantastic in terms of blasting you out to a much wider audience than you would ever reach natively. So that's something that we've been working on a lot and developing strategies around. So did we get Hannah or Ari? Got Hannah.
Yes, Hannah's here. Sorry, wrong room.
Cool. You want to give a quick intro on yourself and Trash and your background?
Yeah, sure thing. So hi, my name's Han. I'm the founder and CEO of Trash. And what we do is we help you make videos really easily on your phone with one tap. And we do this using artificial intelligence because making videos is really hard and a lot of people struggle to do it. And of course, video content is just growing exponentially right now, and everybody needs a great way to be able to communicate in video. So you can take a few clips from your camera roll, you can shoot it in the Trash Cam or another camera of your choice, and then tap one button and Trash will create a rough cut for you. And then because you are the storyteller, you can make all of the final tweaks and edits and get to do the fun part of video editing, and we take the heavy lift for you. You can share it to the Trash platform as well as to all the other usual places on the internet. And in particular, we work a lot with musicians, and we have a feature currently in beta called Trash for Artists that allows independent musicians who own their own publishing to be able to make music videos with their own tracks, because of course, that's something that every musician needs.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Are there any artists that you've seen do particularly interesting work on Trash? Are there any use cases that we would do well to seek out and kind of wrap our heads around how everyone on the call, as an artist or as someone who works with an artist, may be able to best leverage the platform?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, right now is a time where it's really important to be connecting with your fans through video content. And so we are helping artists do this. And I think traditionally people have thought of a music video as something either really polished that requires like a big production budget or something of that sort, or they think of like sort of like a typical performance-based music video, which is like lip syncing. And what Trash does is really opens this up to allow you to create a lot more different types of videos. And so we're seeing everything from something that someone shot in a couple of takes in front of their apartment, you know, safely outside, all the way through to some cool stuff that they had on their camera roll that just looked really dope, like edited together, all the way through to maybe even like a mashup or a remix of some kind of retro content that they found on YouTube or some other corner of the internet, or maybe something that they had from a professional shoot before lockdown started. So we're seeing really like a whole range of ways to make videos that is way cheaper, and also just like a lot faster and more fun. And as we do these onboarding sessions with artists, the thing that we keep hearing consistently is like, oh, I didn't realize this could just be so fast and so easy. And like now I have a 15-minute or 15-second teaser for my new track, or I have a full-length video for YouTube or something along those lines. And it just takes like the weight and the pressure of like the big budget and the whole production out of it. And I think that's very in line with what we're also seeing with people just doing really DIY stuff online right now. It's like, you know, they're just hanging out in their kitchen, live streaming, and that's cool.
Awesome. So are any tools needed to use it other than just a phone and the app?
All you need is an iPhone. That's literally it. And so if you have an iPhone and you have some video on your camera roll, you're good to go. Of course, you also need to have your own track. You can, if you're interested in being part of the beta program, I'll just tell you how real fast, and then we can get on with the rest of the conversation. Just DM us at the Trash app on Instagram. That's the best way. And we'll set you up with a one-on-one onboarding session to be able to upload your track to Trash for Artists and then walk you through how to make a video with it super fast.
Cool. And as a business owner, how have things changed for you since the pandemic? Like, have you had
It's been so busy. It's been so busy. I haven't had a day off since this started. We actually had an App Store feature right before lockdown started. So that was really cool, but also really intense. And everybody is looking for ways to be creative right now, to connect with their fans, to make content. And we help you do that. So it's been pretty nonstop for me, but in a good way. I'm not complaining.
Got it. Cool. And do we still not have Ari in? Okay. I'll give a brief, kind of pitch on his service as far as I understand it. So he runs a company called Maestro. I believe it's maestro.com. And it's as I understand it, he said it's like a combination between Squarespace and Twitch. So I believe they're creating custom technology that will allow artists to basically embed live streaming functionality on their own sites. So my understanding is that it's a paid live stream PPV product that you basically get a developer and it lives on your own controlled website. And another thing that I get asked a lot by artists is how to balance the desire to go for reach over monetization in terms of like, should we just be live streaming concerts for free to everybody, or should we put this behind a paywall? Obviously, everyone in the music industry is a little focused on how to replace their touring income, which has just kind of dropped off. But at this point in time, we're a couple of months into this and there are tons of live streams. I feel like we're all kind of inundated with live streaming performances. Han, do you have any advice on how people can help stand out from the crowd when there's this flood of everyone kind of becoming content creators, or if they already were content creators, becoming much more prolific?
Yeah. It's a great question because there's so much content right now. Like I think every time I look at my phone, there's like at least 10 people live on Instagram all at once. And it didn't used to be like that. We see sort of like two ends of the spectrum. I think one is really creating content that stands out from everybody else. Like we repeatedly hear, for example, not just to plug trash, but this is of course where I'm hearing it from, like if the content looks really different from everybody else's, if it looks like a more professionally edited video, fans tend to engage in it more. So definitely seeking out different video editing tools and different tools for like making your content stand out from everyone else. So the content itself, design, is one way. And the other way that we see is just like a really authentic connection with your fans. And I know that that's like, everybody hears that over and over again. It's so cliche, but I do think that like regular connection, and in a really honest and truthful way about what's happening right now and the situation you're in or the music you're making or whatever it might be, that is another way to do it. So it's like one is a content method, the other one is more like process method.
Got it. Cool. Are there any questions from any of the attendees that we could walk through and answer for you? All right, not seeing anything come in. Still no Ari.
Still no Ari. Should we just chat about video?
Yeah, sure. Seems like somebody else in another panel mentioned premium content platforms, and is wondering what those would be for a video. If by premium, I'm not sure if they mean as in not free, not available to anybody to sign up for, or if it just means paid, like paid. Okay. Again, my understanding is that Maestro provides that. We also provide a solution for people that want to sell paid PPV and VOD products. Stage It is another one that's been around for several years, and I know that they have had an influx of requests over the past couple of months. Those are the ones I'm mainly familiar with. So we're Quarterlab, there's Maestro, Stage It, Nugs.net, I believe does something similar. I'm not sure if that's open to anyone who wants to sell events or if they kind of pick and choose who they offer events from, but those are some that I would recommend checking out. Are there services that can allow you to stream to Instagram as well as other services like Facebook and Twitch out there? Seems like Instagram Live always needs its own stream. That's correct. So Instagram is the one platform, as far as I'm aware, and I've done a lot of research in this space. Instagram is the one platform that does not allow you to connect via an API. So if you see people live streaming to Instagram alongside multiple other services, they're typically going to be filming the Instagram feed on a separate device, a dedicated phone. I have found a couple of platforms, a couple of programs that will let you to kind of hack your way into it. See somebody else in chat mentioning Yellow Duck. That's one of them. In my experience, it's crashed extremely reliably. So I'm not sure if to what degree that's supported. And I also suspect that if Instagram hasn't opened up API access and they're not promoting that anyone who's able to get in there for now might face the challenge of having it cut off abruptly. But there are a few services that will let you attempt to broadcast there as well. So these are the exact types of services that we offer to musicians. There's also, see somebody mentioning Restream. My understanding with Restream is that you cannot syndicate a stream to Twitch via Restream if you are an affiliate or a partner. So if you want to monetize Twitch, I don't believe that works. Might need to seek out something more customized, but that's exactly the space we've been focused on in the past couple of months. So that is my feedback. Facebook's more straightforward. YouTube's pretty straightforward, but each of these platforms, and then Twitter and Periscope being the other big one, they all have their nuances. So if you're going to try to live stream a performance to all those platforms, I'd say give yourself a solid few days of testing and troubleshooting and configuration, or possibly reach out to someone who's been through that before because they can help streamline that process for you. Any other questions from anybody that we could help answer or discuss?
I mean, I'm just curious to know how you started your company. Did you tell that? Did I miss that at the very beginning?
No.
Like why you started? Like I just find founder stories fascinating.
Sure. So we started our company more as like a YouTube network, and it started alongside a separate pay-per-view website that we had created. So basically, it's initially served as a mechanism to protect our live stream content from unauthorized duplications and bootleg activity. So rights management is a huge component of what we do. So if other people are copying or bootlegging or sharing your content across platforms when they're not supposed to, we shut that stuff down. If someone's using one of our clients' songs as in a creative way, they're using it as a soundtrack for a cat video or a skateboard video or something, we allow that.
Love those cat videos.
Monetize it. But we have a lot
cool.
of events that we sell for $50 a pop, and we'll sell thousands of those, and people bootleg them rampantly. So we'll have to be online with multiple staff members throughout the course of these events, hunting down the bootlegs and, and squashing them in real time. And that was really the genesis of Quarterlab, was initially for rights management, but then we really found our sweet spot in helping music companies, small and large, anything from indie artists to major label artists to major distributors, helping them really learn how to develop audiences and channels and best practices on YouTube. So we go really deep into all of the YouTube optimization, and to that extent, we're doing the same on Twitch and other video platforms as well, to really help artists and their management teams understand how to fully leverage all video platforms, not just for monetization and for reach, but also just as marketing collateral. So you might be promoting a tour, you might not care about how much money your video assets that are promoting the tour are generating. You're more concerned about figuring out how to reach as many people as possible and convert them towards VIP fan experiences or ticket sales and things of that nature.
That's cool. It's always interesting to hear how people start their companies, especially if it's like around rights management. Like, how did you get there?
Yeah, totally. I get that a lot. So what was the genesis of Trash?
Yeah, so I used to be the general manager at Vine. And when I was there, I just noticed that like the top creators could make video and everyone else was kind of left in the dust. And it was just super hard for people to make video. Like, it's technically challenging. There's a learning curve, takes time. And I had got curious about whether we could use AI to help solve that problem. And so my background is in music tech. I was an early employee at Last FM and then later Echo Nest, which went on to power Spotify's playlist. So I'd spent a lot of time using machine learning for building products and got really curious about whether we could like extract enough information from a video so that we could sequence it into a rough cut, similar to what you do when you're creating a playlist or a recommended radio station for a user with music. That was the initial hypothesis. And then sort of just more on a personal level, I've always worked on products around tools for self-expression. It's been my whole career. It's something that I'd be working on even if I wasn't doing Trash. And so those things all kind of came together at the same time. That happening with like video just exploding right now in the market, as well as the fact that it's now possible for mobile phones to run a neural network on the processor on the phone, as well as the fact that like people are taking a lot of video and they actually have a lot of stuff in their camera roll. All of those things combined just sort of set the stage for this to be the perfect time to work on it. And so that's what we've been doing. That's how it got started.
Awesome. And we got another question for you, and it maybe provide a little bit of context. So both in the video and audio world, I've seen that, obviously 10, 20 years ago, you go to a studio, whether that's like a record studio, production studio. Fast forward a little bit, you've got Pro Tools or Final Cut, but you want like a really souped up Mac, and it became way more accessible, but we're still talking about thousands of dollars. And now you're hearing tracks produced for Kendrick that were all done literally on an iPhone, and you're seeing similar things with video, which seems like you're really well suited.
Yeah, I mean, like Tangerine was all shot on an iPhone. It's a pretty cool film. Yeah, it's pretty neat to see how like we can literally have a production studio in our pocket these days. And the most difficult part of it is probably still just like shooting the content, but like the cameras in the phones are just getting better and better. And like I shoot a lot of video myself, like creating content just like in my apartment. And like honestly, all you really need is like a decent iPhone, some good lighting, like stand in front of a window and like the world's cheapest tripod. And that is like, that's enough to like actually make something that looks pretty decent. If you want to get fancy and make something that like always looks cool on video, just like get one of those color changing like Philips Hue bulbs and like bam, there you go, you're done. You've got like some cool light on you and you're ready to go. And then from there, like there's a lot of video editing tools that exist on the market today. If you want to have like max control, like if you already understand how to edit video and you really want to have that experience of like an Adobe Suite style product on your phone, like there's Adobe Rush and there's other more professional tools out there, where what we're really trying to do is make this accessible for anybody. So if video is intimidating to you, and if you're like, oh my God, I don't know where to start, like a timeline, what's that? Slipping footage, I don't know, multi-track, get me out of there. Then like, that's what we do, is we try to make it really easy for anyone that doesn't know what I was just talking about. But of course, if you do like to do that stuff yourself, then there's a ton of stuff on the internet that are on the App Store that you can download. And it's pretty amazing how much like artistic content people can make now just on their phone. It's very empowering.
Mm-hmm. And so further to that, where do you see artist videos heading? Like, obviously we have.
Yeah, I saw that question in the chat. I think it's a great question. So where I see it heading is, I look at it both on the cultural level as well as the technological level. So from a tech perspective, there's a ton of stuff happening right now that's so cool. I mean, we're not going to need green screens. Like, I mean, look at this, right? Or sound stages anymore. There's going to be a world very soon where like nothing is going to be real in video. And what I mean by that is not that it's necessarily going to be scary, but like the same way that we've all developed intuition for when we look at a magazine photo and we're like, that was photoshopped. We're going to be able to do the same thing with video. We're going to know when like you took me in an episode of some other TV show or something like that. We're going to have that like sixth sense for when it looked like it was edited together, because that is just going to become so available to us. And the way that it's becoming very available to us is through depth in our phones. And so this is probably the technological advancement that's happening right now that I'm the most interested in, like beyond AR, beyond VR, like being able to do volumetric and depth in the phone. Like that's what basically allows you to deal with like backgrounds and stuff like that. So from that sense, like we're just going to see more creative tools and more new interesting ways to make video look really great ourselves, where we're going to be able to do a lot of post-production, a lot of special effects, like stuff that's like Hollywood level things. We're going to be able to do that like very soon. Like you'll be able to do like Jurassic Park level sort of special effects, I think. On a cultural level, what we see happening is, I think there's going to be a shift away from that canonical single traditional music video. And the reason I say that is we're seeing like a renaissance right now in music video, which is, it's so important for dropping your track. It is so important. Like if you don't have a good video on YouTube, like it's just not the same experience. But we're also seeing that you need to have a video across so many different platforms. You need the 15-second version, you need the 30-second version, you need something for YouTube, you need something for here, you need something for there. And then of course, what we hear from musicians, and we actually are working on something really exciting coming up in the middle of May with an amazing artist on this, is allowing fans to also jump into that storyline too, and remix that content and co-create with the artist and like add their dance moves and add their part of the story to it. And so I think what we're going to start to see happen is the music video will become a little bit less sacred as a format and become more of a conversation piece with the entire group of fans. It will become more malleable. There will be a lot of different versions of it. It's going to become more fluid and more universal, so that like we can have whatever format, size, aspect ratio, time of it that we want on the platform that we're experiencing it, and be able to like interact with it a little bit more. I don't think that that means that like I have a deep love for traditional music videos. Like I watch music videos all the time, even today, more than anybody else I know. So I have a deep, deep, deep love for that art form. I think it's one of the most incredible things, and I don't think that will ever go away. This is not a replacement. It's just an expansion upon the canvas that we currently have to play with today.
Got it. That's awesome. Well, thanks for making tools to make this all more accessible to artists. It's
yeah, it's really fun. And hit me up. I left the link in the chat as well if anyone is interesting. Someone is asking some more questions, but I don't know if we have more time. How are we doing on time?
Yeah, I think we're kind of out of time, but we are going to do a breakout room. So if you want to continue the conversation, just head over to the breakout room.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.